Well, good morning and welcome to the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber's inaugural member monthly briefing. My name is Spencer Mapes, and we are so glad you are joining us here today. These sessions are designed to provide our chamber members with the information, solutions, and connections needed to keep your business thriving. You have joined us in listen-only mode with your microphones and cameras muted, but that does not stop you from asking questions. Questions can be submitted through our Zoom's Q&A window, so please utilize that function. Now, I am so pleased to welcome Jill Meyer, President and CEO of the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber. Jill?
Good morning. As Spencer said, we are so excited to have you here today for the first official member briefing. You will recall last month, I hope, when we gave you a preview of these events to come with our Phil's on First event, which was Phil Castellini highlighting opening day in the Cincinnati Reds this year. Today, you only follow an act of Phil Castellini by going to the top, and so we're so excited to welcome my friend Governor DeWine. Before we do that, I want to just give you a reminder. This monthly member briefing, it's our way to connect with you every month to make sure that you know the most up-to-date news, the most relevant information about our region, and the data that will help you make great decisions as an executive. We are going to bring you top-notch speakers, the newsmakers, leaders around the region and our state. And in addition to speakers, we are going to introduce you to businesses and leaders who you should know. These are small, medium, and large businesses that are driving our economy and really making things happen. So that's what you'll see each month in our monthly member briefing. And I want to just a quick highlight on Chamber. Our month here at the Chamber has really just been incredible. In just the past few weeks, not even a month, but the past few weeks, we have held the Workforce Innovation Center Summit, a national event where we featured David Taylor from Procter & Gamble, Rodney McMullen from Kroger, Tom Williams from North American Properties, and many other leaders talking about building inclusive work environments to move forward through our economy. Last Friday, I was honored to visit with Vice President Kamala Harris to talk about transit and the big win that we had here in our region in the middle of the pandemic last year with Issue 7. 2 days ago, we were part of a broad and diverse coalition that helped push back on a dangerous and frankly ill-advised ballot issue that would have led to major cuts in the most basic services at Cincinnati City Hall. So I assure you this chamber is firing on all cylinders and we are getting lots of things done. I'm so proud of our team, and you, our members, have lots and lots of reasons that you should be too. Side note, speaking of our team, I'm excited that today you will get to meet our newest team member, our Chamber Vice President of Sales and Engagement, Thomas Deere. But for now, as I said, you only follow your first act with going to the top. And so it's really my pleasure to introduce this month's keynote speaker, who is Ohio's Governor, Mike DeWine. I have his formal bio and you all do too, but you all know him. And so I would rather say this about him. We are so lucky that Governor DeWine has been our leader over this past year. There was a moment when things were really uncertain. There were many moments when things were really uncertain, but there was a particular moment I recall when Governor DeWine joined our Restart Task Force call. Recall that was the CEO task force that we pulled together to make so much happen for our economy in the past year. But Governor DeWine joined, and his calm, thoughtful demeanor made everyone on the call realize that they could breathe a little easier, because not only was there an adult in the room, but there was a leader who was paying attention to all corners of the state and paying attention to all of the issues that mattered. Health first and foremost, safety first and foremost, but also our economy and what we needed to keep the other side of our health and safety moving forward. And all I can say is thank goodness. You only have to read Realm, our new CEO magazine, the latest issue, where you will find an interview with Dr. Rick Lofgren, the CEO of UC Health, who was on our Restart Task Force and on the governor's task force. And he said this about Governor DeWine. His decisions are driven by his unwavering faith and by his sense about the sanctity of life, free of any judgment. He considers all equally. He is guided by a true north. I think that is an appropriate introduction today for the Governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine. Governor, thank you again so much for being with us. Take it away.
Thanks, Jill. Thank you very much. I was offline. I was giving Jill a hard time that I have to follow Phil Castellini talking about the Reds. You know, you get me second, but that's kind of tough act to follow. Yeah, good to be with all of you. Really appreciate the partnership that we've had, particularly over the last year. It's been a partnership with the business community in Cincinnati for, frankly, many, many years, and worked with all of you. But I think in the last year, it's been particularly important. You know, as we opened back up, we did it with the advice and counsel of the business community. Played a huge, huge role in this. So let me just make a couple comments, and then Jill will just open up for everyone's thoughts and questions. I always find I learned a lot more listening to the suggestions and ideas and questions than I do certainly from me just talking. Here's kind of where we are. I think we're poised very well economically in Ohio. You know, our unemployment is now basically back to what it was before the pandemic. You know, if you look at different indicators, we're doing very well. We made the tough decisions in the administration early on in the pandemic as far as cutting. We cut back very quickly, and that has put us in I think a very good position to move forward from the point of view of our own budget in the state. Here's kind of where we are. You know, we're kind of this strange time now where everybody that wants it is able to get the vaccine. We're pushing now about 41% of the total population of the state. That's a little bit over 50% of those 16 years of age and older. So we probably, there's no magic number, but we, you know, probably should be at least at 55%. So we're at 40, almost 41%, and getting to 55. And it's not going to be easy. People getting vaccinated just has dropped like a rock. We're running now about 20 to 25,000 a day. We were running somewhere between 60 and 80,000 a day. New people getting their first vaccines. So I want to thank all of you for your help in getting the vaccines out. As I said, we're really at a different phase now. We have always gone out and had a lot of different places where people could get it. We never adopted this idea that we would have 5 or 6 places in the state and people would have to line up and go through these mass vac sites. We've had them, but we started with about 700 sites. We're up to about 2,000 sites now in the state where people can get the vaccine. And many of the sites now are allowing walk-in, which is what we're encouraging because we find some people just want to walk in. But we continue to need your help to really reach the individuals who are, let's say, not as motivated or not so gung-ho about getting the shot. And it's like most things in life, you got about a third of the people out here who really, really want it. And they've all got it, pretty much. And then you've got people who aren't going to get it. But then you have the persuadables, and they're the ones, you know, that frankly, we have to get a bigger percentage of to get the vaccine. We've got a variant out there that is tough and strong. So you do have this kind of strange situation. If you're vaccinated, you're free, you feel great, and your odds are really, really good you're not going to get it, and really, really good you're not going to spread it. Then you've got the rest of the population that's not gotten it. And, you know, despite the fact that it kind of feels good out there now, if you have not been vaccinated, it is a very dangerous time because the variant is about 60% more contagious than the original virus that we were dealing with. So for us to really come out of this right, we have got to continue to vaccinate people. We're going to get another break. Another group will open up, we think, within a week, and that is 12-year-olds and up. 12-year-olds and up basically spread it as much, if not more, than adults do. And so getting this group many of the group 12 and up vaccinated as we can certainly will help a lot. So we need your help. What we're asking businesses to do now is to vaccinate in your workplace. Connect up with the health department or connect up with another partner, Kroger, or anybody who's really, healthcare provider now and can get the vaccine out and go into your workplace. Because what we've found is that if you go into your workplace, you will get people that are not going to get it any other way. And there's just something about the culture that you create by taking it into the workplace, making it available. There's kind of the peer pressure. Other people, you see other people, employees see other employees getting the vaccine, and it really, really makes a difference. So that's you've been great. You've been very, very helpful throughout this pandemic. Business community in Cincinnati, Hamilton County, it's been phenomenal. But we got to finish this thing up if we're going to really have the economy grow the way that we want it to. So, Jill, that's kind of my opening comments. And why don't we just open it up for any questions, any comments that anybody might have. I might share with you before we do that just a couple things. Ohio's now ranked as the 7th best state in the country for business, increasing its rank from 9th. That's from the chiefexecutive.net. Another one, we are ranked again #1 in new economic development projects per capita. So we're very happy with that. We're happy with the job that Jobs Ohio is doing. We're not satisfied with where we are, but Ohio continues to be just a phenomenal place to start a business, to continue and grow a business, a phenomenal place to raise a family, and a great place to live. So, Jill, turn it back to you, and we can maybe go to questions.
Thank you, Governor. The questions are rolling in. So I'm going to jump right into a comment and link it with a question as well. So the comment is this from Jeff Smith. In Cincinnati, we have a group of chief information officers of the major corporations like P&G, Kroger, GE, Great American, Western Southern, and others. And this group has a rich history of collaborating and jointly investing in the tech talent pipeline. So first, on behalf of the region's IT employers, Jeff wants to thank you and Lieutenant Governor Husted for your attention and commitment to tech talent initiatives. And the CIO Roundtable looks forward to continued collaboration with the DeWine administration on this important work. And it couples very, very closely with this question: if employers are looking to ramp up hiring as economic conditions improve, what resources does the state have available to help businesses connect with prospective workforce? And I would say certainly tech is a focus for the state, but other industries as well.
Yeah, I think that, Jill, in the long run and the short run, the most important thing the state can do is to work very, very hard to make sure that we have the talent pool that we need it. If you're talking about attracting business to Ohio or getting business to expand in Ohio, the #1 thing that they look at is employees. Can they get the employees? Do they have the talent? Do they have the talent pool? So focusing on that, you can help us. You can help us in regard to what you need. We constantly are looking at what is needed out there. That talent pool, I think, is the most important thing that we can do. Government, can't do and shouldn't do a lot of different things. But when you talk about education, and I'm talking about education written very large, not just K through 12 in preschool, but I'm talking about how we continue to educate people, to prepare them for the future. So that really is our goal. I mean, we have the traditional sites where people can go and look and see what jobs are available, and we can match people up. But training and working on that is very important. So one of the things that Lieutenant Governor Husted is really focused on is that aspect. And we started something in the last budget where we actually, if a company wants to upscale their employees' abilities and talents, and it's a recognized skill, an industry level skill, we will pay for that. and we will pay for that upscale. And many, many companies have taken advantage of this, and this has been a very positive thing for employees. And that is just one example of, our real focus on people. If you look at the budget that we presented this year, budget we presented 2 years ago, it goes back to what I said in my inaugural speech, and that is, it's time for us to really invest in people. It's time for us to invest in ourselves. And I believe in ourselves. I mean, we got so many good things going, but we have to be able to have the talent pool that is needed.
Thank you, Governor. I think as we went into the pandemic, talent was the name of the game, and it still is. And that's a good thing, but definitely presents challenges. Our next couple of questions are similar, but a different angle on the talent challenge. The questions come from Carla Eng and Andrew Forster. As business owners, we as business owners are having a hard time competing with unemployment to get people to work. The extra bump from the federal government is allowing people to ride that wave. How can we compete with that? As small business in the events industry, I pay very well, but can't afford to bump to get people to come in. And the related question from Andrew is he's also having trouble finding workers with unemployment being down. And does Ohio plan to end the employment bonus in Ohio, as other states are starting to do?
Yeah, we've seen, I think, one state, maybe two states do that. We are certainly looking at that and very aware of it. As I travel, as Lieutenant Governor travels, he and I had an exchange last night. In fact, Fran and I spent yesterday going around the state promoting tourism. And, as we talk to employers, I mean, just take restaurants, for example. We're finding restaurant after restaurant owners, when we talk to them, who tell us, we can't have a second shift. We can't do it. We were in Youngstown the other day. Fran and I ate lunch, family-owned business, fourth generation. When you used to walk in there for lunch, it was a great lunch crowd, and they were closed. They were not open till 3 p.m. So I asked the owner, what's going on? And he said, look, I can only afford one shift. He said, I can only get one shift. Excuse me. I can only find people to work one shift. I can't do the lunch, and so we just can't do lunch. So you're seeing a lot of that. We were in yesterday we were in Findlay at a place that makes candy, and kind of the same thing. Just a real battle. And people telling us we could expand. We're turning down business that we could bid on, business that we could get, because we just don't have the people. So we're taking a hard look at that, and stay tuned.
Thank you, Governor. This question from Dwayne Stansberry. Ohio colleges have just had another large group of students graduate, but the job fairs normally held during the last couple of months at universities could not happen. What can we do to get job opportunities to another new class of new college grads?
Well, yeah, that's a very good question. I don't have a specific answer for that. I mean, I know some of the colleges are, making efforts to try to substitute for what they've been able to do. We are to the point now, frankly, that we're doing this virtually today, but we're coming to the end of the necessity of doing things virtually. And I think these college fairs and things in the future certainly can take place. We are blessed in Ohio. One of the great assets that we have is we have more colleges and universities per capita, basically, than almost any other state. And if you count, as we must, our small liberal arts schools, as well as our 14 big state universities. So we are a net importer of students. So, many more come into Ohio to go to school from other states than we send to other states. And that is one of the assets that we must continue to try to utilize. If we can keep more and more of this talent pool in the state of Ohio, Ohio is going to be a better state. And so again, it's kind of the chicken or the egg, which comes first, though, because you also obviously have to have the jobs out there, or they're going to go to Chicago, they're going to go someplace else. So I don't have a specific answer for your question, but this is this talent pool that we have, and keeping them in Ohio is just very important. And one of the things that we've done is work very, very closely with our colleges and universities, not just the public ones, but the private ones. We've done everything that we can to get them through this pandemic, with supplying testing, with supplying the vaccine. We've made it available. Anybody who wanted to have that vaccine in their college and vaccinate their own students has been able to do that. So it's been a very close relationship, and it's something that we will continue that relationship, because I think it's a great asset for the state.
Thank you, Governor. And I'll add on to that. Your administration really has been a great partner for us with our local universities and colleges across the Cincinnati region. There's lots of effort happening to try to get more college kids to Ohio and then keep them here as they graduate. The next question actually follows this education line of questions. And Governor, you made very clear, and all of the parents most of the parents across the state cheered when you prioritized our littlest people and getting them back into our school system. So thank you for that. The next question is related and comes to us from Elizabeth Pierce, who heads up our Cincinnati Museum Center. Elizabeth says, as we work to support educational recovery, how can your office and the state encourage school districts to better utilize informal education partners like the Museum Center, Hamilton County Public Library System, the YMCAs, Cincinnati Rec, et cetera, and the many others who are collaborating weekly, and they're available for school districts to reach out and use them as a wraparound to help kids spend more time learning, even though they're out of school rather than in school.
Jill, that's a great question. Museum Center is a great place. And speaking of tourism, that's one of the great places that we like to promote. That's an excellent question. I don't have a real answer to it, except I think we have to encourage our schools to do that even more. And, part of the challenge is schools sometimes are reluctant if you just look at field trips, and they're reluctant to do that. There's a cost connected to it, and that certainly has been a problem and remains a problem. But one thing I would point out is that schools, if you look at whatever you think about the federal legislation, and we can say it was too much money, whatever we want to say, but it's coming to Ohio. And so not only are our villages, our cities, our counties getting a lot of money, unprecedented amount of money that is coming in. The state is as well, but so are the school districts. And one of the things that I have encouraged our schools to do, and I asked them to, by April 1, to come up with a plan. How do you catch kids back up? We were very concerned, particularly about our urban schools and kids not being in school. Some kids do really, really well remotely, but some kids don't do very well at all remotely. And so, when I set the goal of having every child back in school on March 1, we did it. And the way I thought we could get it done is to promise the schools and deliver, as we did in February. We vaccinated any school district and any of their employees that wanted to in the month of February. And we actually got it done, at least for the first shot in February. That got all the schools, virtually all the schools, back in around March 1. And we felt that was very, very important. But to get back to the question, look, we have great assets out there. And as far as museums, as far as nonprofits, that can really play a role in catching kids back up and getting kids excited, whether it is about science or history or whatever it is. And so I don't have anything, a magic solution to it, but I would just encourage you to be, in working with your local school districts, keep in mind they have money now. They have one-time money. And, they can spend it over the next several years, and it needs to be put into something that adds to the education of those kids. And it can range anything from tutoring to summer school, to working with places like the Museum Center. But I think my only advice to you and other nonprofits out there who really have something to add to kids' education is work with the educators and figure out what they can use and how they'll use it and what they're willing to use. It just seems to me that is making that direct connection is the only way it's going to happen. I mean, we're a very local government state. We're a very local school district state, 600 some school districts, as well as all our private schools. And they're pretty autonomous. And so working with each one of them, with your local ones, I think is very important.
Governor, thank you. As a mother of an 8-year-old at Cincinnati Public Schools, the state's partnership to get Cincinnati Public School kids back was second to none. So thank you for the answer. Great insights. I'm sorry that our time with you has come to an end, because I have a whole list full of questions from other members who are joined this morning that unfortunately we won't be able to get to because we are out of time. Governor, thank you again. Having you as the leader of the state of Ohio during this pandemic and otherwise, the pandemic certainly has been the topic of the last year, but you have been a great leader for the state and so many other initiatives in the economic development initiatives, the investments in our local innovation district, and so many other different pieces. You and your administration are great teammates for the Chamber and our Chamber businesses, and we couldn't be more honored to have you here with us this morning.
Jill,
Thank you so very much.
Thanks, everybody. Good to be with you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye, Governor. Thank you. Thanks, all. Now, I alluded to this a bit earlier, and I am excited now to introduce to you our Chamber's newest teammate, our Vice President of Sales and Engagement, Thomas Deere. Thomas has almost 30 years of experience as a senior leader in sales and marketing and operations and business development. For the past 15 years or so, he served on the executive roundtable for the Corporex companies, as well as various executive roles at the 5 Seasons, including its chief operating officer, executive vice president of sales and marketing. Thomas, clearly, you got it from those comments, but you will soon learn Thomas is an experienced and really successful sales executive. He has a deep understanding of membership organizations, which is really wonderful. And he brings to the Chamber and to all of you a unique blend of sales and engagement expertise that will serve all of us so well to keep us all better connected, to keep the Chamber team better connected with your organizations, to make sure we are showing up and serving you as you need to be served. So with a welcome, please join me in welcoming Thomas Deere to the Chamber, as well as to our program this morning. And Thomas, you take it from here.
Thank you, Jill, and good morning, everybody. This is truly an amazing region. I'm so pleased to be part of the Chamber family, and I look forward to meeting each one of you and rolling up my sleeves and partnering with you to grow your business footprint. We're excited about today's program, and it was great to hear from Governor DeWine. In this segment, we're going to meet companies in our region that are doing incredible things, making news and driving our economy. They're companies you should know and that you should engage with. Some of them will be new to you, and that's great. Others will be familiar, but you'll learn new things about what they're trying to do to drive our region forward. We're going to be hearing from Nick Schell and Scott Thompson from RESLV, Nikki Noor-Hawkins and Brandon Hodkins from Soul Palette, Seth Cutter from CVG, and Krysta Wallrauch from Krysta Wallrauch Voiceovers. To steal the baseball analogy, leading off will be RESLV. They've been a member since 2018. They've been co-founders and are currently members of the CEO Roundtable program and graduates from the fall 2019 Building Cultural Competence. RESLV wants to change how companies approach their ongoing need for video. No longer are the days of the big budget commercials entrusted to big budget agency that defines so much of your company. Audience want to be constantly given new content, and that's where RESLV comes in. RESLV is a video agency that is built on relationships. And that's so important. Relationships that lead to sustainable competition. Nick Schell from RESLV is here to tell you more. Nick?
Hi, thank you. That was a wonderful introduction. Appreciate that. But I'm gonna do my best to build on that. So yeah, like I said, my name's Nick. Scott Thompson is on here as well. So Scott and I started RESLV about 5 years ago. And like you said, we are looking to change how companies generate the video content that supports their brand. Because frankly, video is just everywhere. I mean, you're sitting in a waiting room, you look up, there's video. You pull up your phone, you're scrolling, there's video. Video is just everywhere. And I would bet that everyone has probably recorded video on their phone. You know, it's just something that's just a common part of our lives these days. And the thing is like, what do you do with that video? I mean, I bet if you scroll through your phone, you find all these old videos and it's like, well, what am I ever going to do with that? And that's where we're trying to change this industry, right? So, you know, we were hired for so long to create the typical 2-minute video, right? And, you know, when we do that, we easily capture 4-6 hours of footage, right? And what do you do with all that footage? We were tired of watching it just sit on a shelf. So we want to work with our clients to make sure that content is utilized. I mean, think about it, 10 short social media clips put out over a long period of time is always going to have more engagement than that one commercial that you set out to create in the first place. So we really just want to make sure that we are working alongside of our clients to make sure the video is used, right, and created. Think outside the box. I mean, this is our world, and we want to build those relationships so that whoever we're working with trusts us to help them not only with creating the content, capturing the content, but implementing that content as well. And we do feel confident we can deliver on this from our in-house capabilities. Really any production of any scale, you know, from the movie set broadcast, commercials, basically to your hometown local event. We've really done it all. Also, we work in the field of animation, and thanks to this pandemic, a whole lot of live production and virtual streams and webinars and all that. So basically from concepting your idea to making sure it reaches your target audience, we just want to be there to help you at whatever capacity we can. And most importantly, keeping that price point somewhere that is going to work with whoever we're working with. You know, we understand that budgets are a real thing, and we always say the price is a conversation, right? We have our bottom lines, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everybody is getting what's best for them. So we really do hope that, you know, we are your video agency of choice based on our creativity, collaboration, and ultimately that relationship. We do feel that great content starts with collaboration, not always just the capability conversation. So anyway, in conclusion, if you do find yourself thinking about video in any way, you know, whether it's that live stream or you need that commercial or you need some social media clips, we do encourage you to reach out to us and just let us help discover what's possible and what's available to you. So I do have a little commercial that we use. So feel free to play it whenever you're ready.
Just watch me.
There you go. So that's RESLV.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nick
Absolutely.
and Scott.
Thanks, Thomas.
Next up is Soul Palette. They've been members since 2020. They create customized paint party experiences to celebrate any occasion. They actually bring the paint experience to your preferred location. Whether it's social, cultural, educational, or ministry focus, they do it all. Here are Nikki and Brandon from Soul Palette.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the invitation and for that introduction. Like Tom said, I am A.Y. Nikki Moore Hawkins, co-owner and chief detail officer of Soul Palette, and I'm here with Brandon Hawkins, co-owner, lead teaching artist, also my husband and almost better half. Soul Palette currently offers unique paint experiences, art lessons, and teaching, commissioned works of art, as well as small and large scale murals. And our goal is to eventually be a visual one-stop shop. You'll hear more about that in a little bit from Brandon. Now, we're relatively new chamber members who joined during the pandemic through the generosity of the gift of membership, as we are a minority and women-owned small business. So through the help of the senior membership management manager, Beth McNeil, we have been able to easily navigate and enjoy the benefits of membership by attending events such as Converge. And since we pivoted how we do business last summer by offering virtual paint experiences, we have grown tremendously and are working with lots of companies and organizations outside of the region, especially on the West Coast and East Coast. And we have also painted with folks from lots of different countries through a strategic partnership. Now, we want to engage and work with more businesses in Cincinnati to help our region thrive. You know, we are confident that we will be able to achieve this, you know, through chamber member opportunities. And so one thing I can share is that we recently met with one of the chamber's cost-saving partners, Infotech, you know, as we are looking for efficient ways to reduce, you know, our cost on credit card processing. So we're really excited to see, you know, where that opportunity may go and what other resources the chamber has. Now, I'll turn it over to Brandon.
So for anybody who is a husband of a wife, to even be given that small bit that I'm almost the better half, I'm glad we're recording this, right? Thomas, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. That's all I need. So I am Brandon Hawkins. I am co-owner of Soul Palette. And one of the wonderful things I love about our business is that it is actually a marriage, if you will, of Nikki and I's talents and of her management and my creativity skills. We were blessed to be able to leave our full-time positions, her with the University of Cincinnati and me, management in Sherwin-Williams. For several years, we were able to leave those and take this on full throttle. And basically, you know, we were also looking at ramping our business up after the pandemic started with the virtual events. But once I was blessed to be able to become the project manager of the Black Lives Matter mural in Cincinnati, it seemed like our business really kind of exponentially took off after being able to lead 16 other artists and a lot of apprentices, about 150 volunteers. It was a wonderful event to be a part of and really helped our business out. We were also awarded the Truth and Reconciliation Grant by ArtsWave, and we are just now starting a mural in downtown Over the Rhine. I was actually out there yesterday, pressure washing the wall, getting things ready. And again, we'll be working with apprentices from Artworks and then some of the community members in the surrounding area. And that will officially kick off this month. Not only do we do murals, but because we're able to run around and, you know, teach things, whether it's virtually or in person, hopefully coming up, I'm also able to teach in the arts and healing realm. And so I love to teach down at the VA. I get to teach some of our veterans in a way that is very therapeutic for them. I've been doing that for a little more than 2 years now, and I'm in love with those people down there at the VA and teaching them art. So also we teach in Cincinnati public school system through activities beyond the classroom and through Families Forward as well. So if you would like to connect with us further on doing, you know, corporate paint parties or even teaching some children or mural making sessions, you can get in touch with us at paintwithyoursoul.com, or we're also on IG at Soul Palette Art. Thank you so much for having us, and we hope to see you soon.
Love it. Thank you, Nikki and Brandon. That's awesome. Next on the docket is a longtime member, Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, CVG. They've been working hard to make travel easier for our region. I can attest to that. Moving here from Minnesota 16 years ago was impossible to get back home. Now it's a snap of the finger. CVG has added 2 new carriers, Alaska Airlines and Sun Country Airlines, as well as nonstop service to new destination on United Airlines and Allegiant. Seth Cutter, tell us more about the new services.
Thank you, Thomas. And thank you to Jill and the whole team for putting this together. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thomas, as you noted, I think we're one of those older names, or shall we say more familiar, and we're glad to provide a quick update to the folks this morning. Thomas, as you mentioned, air service is critically important for the economic health of our region, and that is an area where CVG, through the pandemic has been open and operational for essential travel for our region, and we're really glad to see that starting to come back, right? So passenger numbers, as folks may have seen, are really improving over the last several months. We think this summer will be about 70 to 80% of what we saw in pre-pandemic times. And we obviously had a great spring break. More than 400,000 folks were passing through the airport, 400,000 passengers. And of course, compared to 2020, where we ended the year only at about 40% of pre-pandemic passenger numbers, we're really excited to see stronger numbers coming back, kind of bolstered, as you noted, by some new starts this month. So next week we have Sun Country beginning an inaugural flight to Minneapolis. That's followed the following week by Alaska Airlines, which is a great brand and airline for us, starting direct daily service to Seattle and points beyond that in their network. United, you mentioned, is the week following that. So Memorial Day weekend, folks can travel United. They've got a beautiful premium jet configuration to Pensacola, to Hilton Head, to Charleston, South Carolina, and then Portland, Maine. So that's exciting. What's also exciting for a lot of folks in our region with Allegiant Airlines will be in June, a nonstop flight to Key West. So folks can fly there nonstop this summer. And then actually just announced last week, our partners at Southwest Airlines announced nonstop service to both new service for them to Sarasota and Fort Myers. So Florida and the warm weather destinations are obviously important, but also American Airlines just announced new service to Boston, Logan International, starting this November. So it's all exciting. But I think one thing we want to remind our chamber members is that a lot of this demand and return to travel that we're seeing is leisure focus, right? It's been a strong spring break and a strong summer, but a lot of that demand is coming from leisure travel, visits to family and relatives. And we want to make sure that folks know that we're here for the business community, and that if folks don't see certain flights or activity resuming, it's because the airlines will be adding routes back as travel demand dictates. So that's the passenger side of the house. Quickly on the cargo side, air cargo is so important as a regional jobs engine for our region here at the airport. We moved 133,000 tons of cargo in March, and that's up 26% on the year. So cargo is booming. Amazon is on track for a late 2021 this year, late year opening of their new facility. DHL is still going strong, of course, and we're excited about all that. As was alluded to, I think at the beginning with Governor DeWine, when Jill was asking some of our questions regarding workforce development, obviously there's a lot of job opportunity here at the airport. So if folks are looking, or folks in your network, be sure to check out jobs.cvgairport.com. All of our campus-wide employment opportunities are listed there. It's because of our folks, our great business partners, and the hardworking folks in our region that we're able to have a $6.8 billion annual economic impact on this region. And we're excited to continue doing that as we start to emerge from the pandemic. So thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you to you and Candace for continuing to move our region. Thank you. Next is Krysta Wallrauch Voiceovers. Krysta Wallrauch Voiceovers has been a member since 2019. Krysta is an international award-winning voice actor, specializing in many genres of voiceovers such as radio, TV, documentaries, corporate narration, promos, e-learning, and political voiceover. Krysta enjoys using her theatrical skills to promote clients and bring life to projects that others envision. She's able to do this from her professional studio via live platforms that allows her clients to listen in and direct. And here's Krysta to tell you more. Krysta.
Thank you, Thomas. Good morning and thank you. That was very lovely. I want to thank my family at the Regional Chamber. Since the day I became a member, you guys have made me feel like I'm a part of the city. And so I'm really honored to be here this morning. So as was just told, as a full-time voice actor, you've heard some of the genres that I specialize in. However, I'm often hired for brand anthem voice work and documentaries. I've worked for familiar brands such as Under Armour, Adidas, and General Mills, as well as P&G. I also work in corporate narration and e-learning. Earlier this year, I narrated a documentary for PBS in Alabama on women's suffrage. And most recently, I co-narrated the documentary Legacy of Leadership, A Region Rises with Clyde Gray, which aired on WCPO TV. That was a lot of fun. I spend an average of anywhere from 8 to 10 hours or longer a day in my studio, whether I'm recording, marketing, or coaching. I also home educate both my children, one of which is on the autism spectrum, and he's also featured in my commercial demo. Consequently, my youngest daughter also does voiceover work. So you may be wondering how I can help your business. Well, ultimately, I'm a storyteller. Theater and singing have been a huge part of my life. So being able to transfer my love of acting to sharing other people's stories has been a passion for the past 6 years for me. I use my experiences from working in the medical field to grocery shopping to chatting with strangers to create what my clients need and envision when they hire me. And don't let my voice fool you, because most people see my face and think older, but I voice many spots that require a younger read. And I also do character reads for folks that are as old as 90. When I don't feel I'm the right person for a particular script, I'm able to provide referrals to my clients. So if you require local voices who are highly trained professionals with everything required to provide you with voiceovers that you need, I retain a pool of vetted talent for this as well. If you want to hear some of my work, you can go to my website at www.krystawallrauch.com. Thank you.
Krysta, thank you so much. That's terrific. On behalf of the Chamber, I want to personally thank these 4 members for being part of our inaugural monthly member briefing. If you're interested in being part of the upcoming monthly member briefing, please go to cincinnatiChamber.com/monthly member briefings. Let me repeat that. cincinnatiChamber.com/monthly member briefings and submit an interest form. Okay. The next part of our program is to quickly give you a heads up of what's happening at the Chamber that's going to help you grow your business and help your top talent succeed. You all know that leaders play a key role in the strength and future of our region, and the Chamber is committed to developing leaders through our programming. Amy Thompson, Vice President of the Leadership Center, is here to share you how you can get engaged in the leadership development programs. Amy?
Morning. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it very much. And it was great to hear all of you this morning. I am excited to continue engaging with all of you. So thank you. I just wanted to take a quick moment to let you know about some of our programs that are open right now. Many of you have teams and you're constantly thinking about how do I further engage and develop my team members, and how do I also get them connected into our community? Well, we have a suite of offerings. On our next slide, it'll show you that we have Cincy Next, Sea Change, We Lead, and Leadership Cincinnati. And these are all designed based on your time in your career. Cincy Next is designed truly for our emerging leaders, our young professionals. We want to help get you connected into our region. Sea change. If you have that mid-career leader who you think, gosh, they are an all-star, and I really just want to get them plugged in, help them roll up their sleeves and understand our community better, Sea Change may be for them. The two I want to really highlight, though, is We Lead in Leadership Cincinnati. And that's because applications are due on May 21st, which is right around the corner. We Lead is a program for women. It's to help women elevate their own personal leadership. If you yourself or someone on your team is really thinking about how do I advance? How do I advance in the current position that I'm in and step up my leadership? Or am I ready to get to that next level? We Lead would be a great opportunity for you or for that person that you're thinking about. This program is designed to have a coaching model, a small group, as well as exposure to thought leaders and different leadership workshops. It's a 10-month program. And like I mentioned, applications are due May 21st. So get those in. Leadership Cincinnati, we will be celebrating our 45th year of providing Leadership Cincinnati. This is a program designed truly for leaders that want to get immersed into the city. What can I do here in this region? How can I leave my legacy and make a difference? It's truly for leaders who are in C-suite positions, in positions of influence where they can make change and are ready to do that. So I hope you will consider applying or recommending someone. Again, May 21st. The other pieces I'd love to tell you about are building cultural competence. We are in our 6th version of building cultural competence, and many communities, many leaders, many businesses are saying, how do we make our teams more inclusive? How can we be more effective as a group? This is a competency building program. It's 3 months and it could be the perfect fit for you and your team. I'm happy to share more with you. And as you heard earlier, we had 2 leaders who are participating in our Leadership Roundtable program. If you're looking for advice and guidance from peers who are in similar roles in businesses across this region, and you want to share nuggets with each other, the Leadership Roundtables may be a great fit for you as well. Again, I will drop my information in the chat and happy to connect with anyone. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to a friend and colleague, Katie Egan. You are in for a treat as she is our Vice President of Government Affairs and continues to truly just make a great difference for us here. Katie, take it away.
Amy, thank you so much. And it's so great to be with all of you this morning. As Amy said, I'm Katie Egan. I lead the Chamber's Government Affairs initiatives. And our team is responsible for policy development and advocacy on behalf of the greater Cincinnati business community. We seek to move our region forward through engagement with elected officials, advocacy-driven trips, networking, and meetings. And our goal is to ensure that Chamber members have the opportunity to share your specific business perspective with policy members. We want to make sure that you're able to interface and share what will move your business forward. And we'd like to help connect you with that. And ultimately, we'd love to have you involved. Our next event is our virtual DC fly-in. In previous years, this has been a 2-day trip where we take a group of business leaders from our city and take our message to Capitol Hill. This year, it's going to be virtual, and we want to be able to interface with policymakers, federal lobbyists, DC journalists, and more. There's also going to be an opportunity for in-person networking as well. You'll also be seeing registration open up soon for a federal issues lunch, where we hope to have U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg join us to talk about his vision for infrastructure and transportation, especially in our region, as we work to push our connected vision for the region and the city of Cincinnati. It's great to be with you all, and we'd love to have you involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. As you can tell, there's a lot of things happening here at the Chamber. Finally, the Cincinnati Regional Chamber has a total of 10 benefit partners who offer ways to save you money and enhance your business. Each month, we'll take a couple minutes to remind you of how your business can save money with our programs. Today, we have Amy Schwartz, Inside HR and Risk Management Consultant at Sheakley, as our featured partner. Every 2 years, the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation allows employers to change their managed care organization, or MCO. During this time, Ohio state-funded employers can select a new MCO to manage their workplace injury medical claims. For 2021, the MCO open enrollment is currently running from May 3rd through May 28th. The Cincinnati Chambers endorses Sheakley's Unicom as our preferred MCO for workers' comp. Their unique approach turns industry data into personalized managed care solution, giving our members the expertise, service, and support they need to get their injured workers back quickly and safely. Now I'd like to introduce Amy Schwartz. Take it away. Is Amy not on? All right.
Good. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Welcome, Amy.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. So sorry. Good morning, everyone. I'll be very brief. Sheakley has been a partner of the Cincinnati Chamber for 30 years now, since 1991, and happy to partner with them to help offer some workers' comp savings for their members. It is MCO open enrollment now, so it's a very busy time for workers' comp. We'd be happy to get with you and offer some workers' comp savings for your group programs as well. That is going to be starting up next month. So please feel free to reach out to me at Sheakley or the Cincinnati Chamber, and we would be happy to get a group quote out to you and talk about some great partnership with the Chamber. Thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody, for spending the morning with us. Please join us again on June 3rd for our next monthly member briefing. These monthly member briefings are exclusive for Chamber members, and they're going to be held the first Thursday of every month, offering, as you can tell, timely and important news, business connections, and much more. To register for our next session, please go to cincinnatiChamber.com/forward-events. Again, cincinnatiChamber.com/forward-events. If you're interested in learning more about MCO or connecting with Amy Schwartz, please stay on Zoom. And with that, we're going to end our inaugural monthly member briefing, and we thank you all. Have a terrific day, have a terrific month, and we look forward to working with you going forward. Thank you.